version 3003 of the programming software has several enhanced features that I'm going to demonstrate here so that you can see what has been added. I'm in the points section of the software currently, and for example, if I were to change one of these functions of an I/O, which is automatically in zone 1, to say a supervisory signal, it highlights it pink. This is an audit error. If I hover over it, it's actually going to tell me what the problem is. Now I can't change or fix it in the points section. I can select it in zones, but all the audit errors are now highlighted, where before they were not highlighted. So that is one thing that has changed. So if I go to zones as well, if I go to the zones tab, this same point is assigned to zone 1. It's a supervisory signal, so it cannot be in a style alarm zone. That's why it's highlighted. If I were to try and download this as well, it's going to ask me to save it. It's going to come up in my audit errors. Now what's also new in audit errors is that I'm able to now print these out. Now there's only 2 here, but sometimes I'll have several audit errors and it's nice to be able to print them. So I can either print them to a PDF type application where you can see them here. I can also export them to Word by selecting the Word tab, or even Excel, which was my other one. So those are some nice options that are now in audit errors. You can print those out if you want to. Alright, so that's new. I'm going to change this back so this is not unhappy about that. I'm going to go back to points. Previously there was only one option for printing. And when you printed something, it was always portrait and tended to not always capture everything onto one page. So if I start with this icon, actually I'll start with print the selection grid. I'll select that. It's going to bring up a print preview, and the default is now going to actually be in landscape mode, so it actually fits everything on one page, which is great. Now from here I can also change that to portrait if I'd rather have that. That's new. I can also export this data to either Excel or Word. So for a points list, this is really great. This actually makes a very nice points list in Word or Excel that you can then hand on to a customer or your central station. Now if I wanted to skip that step from actually this point right here, I can actually just export this whole thing to Word by selecting the Word icon that does the same thing. So those are some new features with this software.